Good evening, Lake Orion. Hey, zip it, you two. I'm better than both of you. Okay, I'm your host, and I am Between Taorminas. Yes, indeed, Lake Orion. This is Between Taorminas on ONTV.
Yes.
Gentlemen, how are we doing?
No. Good.
Hanging in there.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what are you two?
Yes.
What are you two lovebirds arguing about?
No.
Ian's love for the city of Cleveland, she absolutely loves.
No.
Yes, she does.
No.
Yes, you do. You love the
Ant,
city of
what are
Cleveland.
we talking about, Ant?
All right, let's talk about this interesting subject. Speaking of Cleveland, the Pistons actually beat Cleveland the other day. The
Hashtag
Pistons.
no comment.
Heading to the playoffs.
No, they're not.
Playoff bound,
No, they're
baby!
not. No, they're not.
Okay, so the Pistons made a move to get Blake Griffin from the LA Clippers. What is your take about this?
What? Hey, use your words.
Quiet.
Use your words. Shocked. Scared. Mad. Angry.
That's my reaction.
Okay.
Because this is a horrible deal. Because, first of all, Blake Griffin is injury prone. Okay? He
Okay.
had 2 surgeries on his leg. Okay? On his knee. He has not been there for a full season. And the Pistons gave up way too much again. Give up Avery Johnson.
Bradley.
Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley, sorry.
Avery
Then
Johnson.
he gave up Tobias Harris. I understand their contract issues. You know, Bradley's a free agent after this year. Then you have Harris, who's got 2 years left on his deal. And then
This year
Boban-
next, I
Next
think.
year next. And then you give up Boban. And then,
1 year left on the
but
deal.
then the big one is giving up that first round pick, which is just completely god awful, for first of all. And then you give up a second rounder next year. So when you're looking at, they gave up way too much for him. They gave up way too much.
Ian, what's your take?
Yeah, to me, this is a move that you make when you are ready to win a championship.
They
I don't
are
think
not.
the Pistons are anywhere
No,
near ready to
not
win a
even
championship.
close.
So they really have hamstrung themselves with Blake and Andre in those huge contracts. And then you throw in Reggie. And you want to talk about injury prone. You got Reggie and Blake who are making a combined $45 million next year, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you throw in Andre. There's what, $70 million total.
Right, just for 3 players, you know what I mean?
So that is tough. I don't even know what the salary cap is. 110, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it something like that?
It's a waste, you know what I mean?
It's
It's a waste
really
of money.
tough.
I
It's
mean,
tough.
when you look at this move, you've handicapped your bench. You basically are saying, okay, let's draft our way to be better. You know what I mean? Let's draft our way. But then
they
again,
haven't
they
done
don't
that at
have
all.
a draft. They don't have any draft picks
And
next
it's not
year.
like they can hang their hat on the
No.
last 3 draft picks.
And you know what I took real bad? This Tom Gore's comment saying we need a superstar to come into Little Caesars Arena, put butts in seats. You know what I mean?
Well,
You
I
know,
do agree with that
I
because
don't.
they do.
They
and it's
do.
worked so far, even if it's 1 game or 1 week. But with this move, to me, they have got to try to move on from Reggie and Andre.
this is terrible move. I think you know my comments from our last episode we had about Little Caesars Arena and how I feel about it with the tickets and everything like that.
Well, that's
The thing
taken,
is-
but the Pistons themselves, they needed a shot in the arm. I mean, no matter where they're playing.
They lost 8 straight until they They beat lost- Cleveland.
Yeah, they needed.
Right. They did,
as
you're
a
right.
franchise. You know what I mean?
You're right, but I mean, you look at this is no Rasheed Wallace. This is not a Rasheed
No.
Wallace.
This ain't 04 either.
This
baby.
ain't 04
No.
either.
Wow. Unfortunately.
The
Right.
04, the difference from the 04 Pistons is when they got Rasheed Wallace, that was a heck of a trade. That was a great move.
That
Joe
made
Dumars
them
made.
legitimate
That made
championship
That made them a
contenders.
championship contender for about 3 years. You know what I mean? Literally 3 years. You know what I mean? And then you look at this move, and you're telling me that this move is going to shake a franchise up. Do I think this could? Maybe, but I doubt it because when you look at the Pistons, this is a team
that is an absolute mess right now. When you look at it, they've lost 8 straight games to the beat Cleveland the other night. And then you look at, okay, you're 2 out of a playoff spot in a bad Eastern Conference, and you're saying to me that
4 games under 500.
and you're 4 games under 500. You're telling me that I should be excited for Blake Griffin? Please, please. You know what I mean? You need to frickin' clean house right now. When you look at this Pistons team, they need to clean house.
So you're
I know
saying
it.
completely
You know it. I know it. You know it. You know it. Joey knows it. Because I'm telling you guys right now, the Pistons need to clean house.
You know, I thought they did. I thought they needed to sell and get draft picks, not give them away.
They just gave one away.
But now that they did what they did, I think, you know, it's tough because Tom Gores loves Andre Drummond. You know what I mean? So unless you get a new owner in the next year, you're probably not going to get rid of Andre. But to me, you got to do it. Because, okay, now you got Blake Griffin. He's a bona fide star, we'll call him, right? He's a better player than Andre.
He's fifth in the NBA in scoring.
He's a better player than Andre. I feel like he would have more to do to potentially lure free agents over or something.
No.
More than Andre would. So I feel like they have Blake now. They got to run with Blake and kind of start the rest of the roster over from there.
So
But they're not going to do it. They will not do that.
So you're saying complete rebuild.
Well, kind of. I mean, kind of. A complete rebuild would would have traded Andre, they would have traded Reggie, they would have traded Avery, Tobias.
Well, here's the
and not gotten
problem.
anything
Here's
but
the
picks
problem.
and
Reggie Jackson's hurt.
expiring
That would have
deals.
really destroyed his trade value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
tough to
that's
trade right
why.
now.
That's why it would have been really hard to trade Reggie Jackson. And then, of course, you look at Andre Drummond. He's making too much money, for goodness sakes. I mean, when you look at people are calling this future Lob City Part 2. This is not Lob City Part 2.
And-
you know, and here's the thing: Blake Griffin can't even shoot threes. He can't even shoot threes. You know, when the Pistons got Rasheed Wallace back in 2004, he could go and shoot you at 3 when he needed it. But look at this one here. You cannot have, you know, you can't. I mean, Blake Griffin cannot come out and shoot threes. You know what I mean? And I think this is going to be an instant failure for this team. It's going to be.
And even
You
if
just
this
watch.
was Lob City, what did Lob City win?
Not a lot of
They,
games.
they won one playoff series, I think.
No.
Against the Spurs that one year. Well, I mean, they've won more, I think. I don't even know. But
Any
they didn't win
final thoughts?
anything of
They haven't won anything.
No.
Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
this is not the way the NBA is right now,
No.
and they're trying to outslug everybody. And if it works, interesting. If
This ain't going to work, and I'll
if
tell
it
you.
doesn't, they can't be shy to
If
get
they-
rid
this
of
is-
Andre.
This is not going to work. This will not work for the team.
think so.
They've got big problems. You and me both agree on something, which is a good thing. You know, I'm Blake Griffin. This was a horrible deal. And I think the Pistons right now are in a sense of disarray right now.
We'll be right back between Taorminas here on ONTV.
ONTV invites you to take part in the 8th annual 5 or 5 food drive benefiting Oxford Orion Fish. On Saturday, February 10th, ONTV will broadcast live from the Orion Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Residents who donate 5 food items or $5 will receive a raffle ticket that earns you a chance to win one of numerous prizes donated by local businesses. Following the holidays, food pantry shelves get a little light, so your donation will benefit local families in need by stocking the shelves for the next month or two. Come to the ONTV studio on Saturday, February 10th between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. for your chance at fantastic prizes while helping out families in need. Call 248-693-3377 or visit orionontv.org for more information.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas, and before we move on to the next topic, we are going to be on the air in about a week, right? On Saturday, the 8th annual, 7th annual, I have no idea what annual food drive this is. It's the 8th annual food drive. Have we been on all 8 years? No.
No,
Close.
no.
We've been
6 years?
7.
No,
This is our
6.
sixth or seventh?
Six, yeah.
6.
So we're going to be out at 3. You should tune in, but more than that, you should donate some food to Fish and ONTV, and that's all going to a good cause.
I've even encouraged those in Southern Oakland County as well to, on my podcast, to donate as well to the Fish.
I will try to drum up some support
Especially
from the Royal Oak,
Royal Oak Park,
the Royal Oak
Berkeley,
Raven
Royal
community.
Oak, Berkeley, Oak Park areas, Southfield even, you know what I mean? That would be really good.
it's good, because this
And
it's
he's
a
a
Lake
park
Orion
as well.
event, but it's an
Yeah.
Oakland County, it's a
Yes,
Michigan thing. So.
I agree. You know what I mean? It's always good.
Well, good job.
I appreciate that.
And
All
what are we
right.
talking?
Let's talk about. It's a very serious news story that's been going on. Michigan State. This whole Larry Nassar situation. It's a very difficult subject to talk about. Obviously, there's a lot of survivors that have told their stories. But we are also seeing this impact the Michigan State football and basketball programs. And people are comparing this to Penn State or Baylor. And I just want to get your take on it. Ian, first. What is your take about all of this?
To me, there's a big issue, obviously, within the athletic department. But is this issue as far-ranging as some are, claiming it to be, or is it confined to the gymnastics program and, what Larry Nassar did and the blind eyes that were turned onto his atrocities? Because what he did is on par with anything horrific throughout history that you can imagine.
Right.
So
Same
that
best excuse in the
alone,
world.
Michigan State should be hammered, just absolutely hammered for that. And what they did, and USA Gymnastics, and the training centers that this guy was a part of, all of it. It should it's terrible. But it's separate from, to me, we have a lot of proof with that, obviously. The trials, the testimonies, all that. With Tom Izzo and Mark D'Antonio, because they're the two most, they're right up there with Sparty, as in recognizing in East Lansing. So I don't know. I feel like being a fan of both programs, I don't think that anything, to me, like there's issues in sports. There's issues in high school sports in some communities with the power of certain sports and athletic programs and local law enforcement ties. So there's issues. This is a sports problem to me. Is it more of an issue with Michigan State football versus Kansas football? I don't know. Obviously, one crime, one person hurt is too many, but it's the reality of the business, unfortunately. And will Tom Izzo and Mark D'Antonio lose their jobs? Perhaps, if they deserve to. I hope they do. If they don't deserve to, I hope that they are cleared for, the public kind of opinion that's so low right now.
Well, first of all, my heart goes out to the survivors of the Larry Nassar thing. What happened there? What he did was just repulsive and indescribable. But when you look at, of course, putting it into perspective with the football and men's basketball teams, I listen to Mike Valenti. You know what I mean? I listened to what he had to say, and you have to have certain proof, you know what I mean? And when you look at journalism, you have to know your stuff when you're in doing this type of thing here. And I watched it Outside the Lines special on Michigan State and Nassar, and there were some things when the allegations surround the Michigan State football and the Michigan State men's basketball program, these are stuff that was already reported in the local media. You know what I mean? That's already been coming out. I think this is more of, and I'm not being mean here, I'm not being insultive here, but this is opinionated journalism when you look at what's going on. It's opinionated,
Right
when
now.
you really look at it, you know what I mean? Because, there's really no, these people have not been convicted, they haven't been charged.
Right.
And I think, Mark D'Antonio and Tom Izzo right now are getting really bashed because of what has been going on, from 2007, you know what I mean? And then with their programs, so basically, you know what I mean? I think it's like two sides of a different story, because you have the Larry Nassar case, of course, that's affecting the gymnastics program there. But you've already had the president of the university resign. You've had the athletic director resign.
Yeah.
Basically, and I know the NCAA is going to come out really hard against Michigan State, and maybe even you have the Department of Education's investigating. You have the Attorney General's investigating. And of course it would not surprise me if the fine that they get may be worse than Penn State.
Well,
Could it be death penalty or no?
No.
they don't really do the death penalty anymore. But
no.
I mean, Mark Hollis resigning when he did is a little suspicious. Should he have been fired for the way? I mean, gymnastics is an athletics program, so that alone should have done him in for his job. So it's just interesting. It's a mess right now.
I think, when you look at the situation, how it's unfolded, I'm surprised why Kathy Klages, the former gymnastics coach, she should be in jail right now as well as Larry Nassar, because she was the one that, persuaded some of these girls to go to Larry Nassar.
survivors.
You know what I mean? The survivors to Larry
Yeah.
Nassar.
Well, what do you think? Also, that one coach, the USA, the guy that was coaching USA gymnastics, he should be in jail.
He should be in jail too.
Absolutely. I mean,
Absolutely.
Nassar was kicked out of MSU's medical school, and
Yeah.
he begged and pleaded to get him back in, and they did. So he allowed him in his gym from the beginning. Yeah, it's just really it's unfortunate that the whole thing is it's terrible. It's just terrible.
It's a mess.
Do you think that the ESPN story was kind of a witch hunt against Michigan State, especially with that there has been ongoing issues between Michigan State and ESPN?
I think at this point, the way that they piggybacked off of Nassar and his crimes to tie in the other programs where Mark D'Antonio and Tom Izzo, might have nothing to do with any of this, guys, or whatever the failings of the athletic department. If they have done everything by the book, then yeah, it's a smear campaign. If it comes out that there's more to this thing and that where there's smoke, there's fire, then it's good that it's being caught and reported and brought to light. But right now, you're right. It's just an opinion.
I mean,
It's opinion journalism, because when
seems
you
that
look,
way.
it seems that way, and it's basically, do they have their facts straight? You know what I mean? I mean, the person who did the interview, I think her name is Lauren. Lauren, I don't know what her last name is, but
something Pine, something.
but did she talk to Isel? Did she talk to Dan? Did she talk to D'Antonio? You know what I
don't
mean?
know.
Did she talk to Hollis or Simon? And we don't know if she did that or not. It's not for good journalism. For a person who's interested in journalism, get your facts straight. Get the reporting. You know what I mean? Be accurate with. Do your research. Do your research, and do not be opinionated with it. Because if you're opinionated with it,
If you have an agenda.
if you have an
as a
agenda,
journalist,
as a journalist, it's going to come back and bite you. You know what I mean?
When you hear about these allegations against MSU, to be honest with you, I remember the Appling Payne story. I remember that because it was because that was reported. There were protests at MSU, and then I also remember when they had the whole issue with the football players with the.
Have you guys noticed? Have you guys
just seems
noticed
like
that
it's a-
like everything that was mentioned from 07 to like on the outside the line story, they were all locally reported. All of them. They were all locally reported. You know what I mean? And and the filming was shot in August. So and that to me that's a little damning right there.
Well, Michigan State is a party school. It is ranked one of the best party schools in the nation. It makes me wonder how men and women are going to approach situations where they're having parties together. And you just don't ask for what's happening to occur. You just don't plan on that to occur. And I hope I'm getting the words right, because there's nothing to, you just cannot describe that. It just, as a man, it just makes you wonder, But then, as a woman, if in the mind of a woman, do you send your child, as a parent, or even two, do you send your child to Michigan State as a result of this? Is Michigan State going to be safe? And then, as a man, it's, you guys remember the whole
You gotta have
Oakland
your
case
boundaries.
Oakland case in 2013, where a woman
accused 2 players of, and they had to spend the night in jail, and that proved to be a false story. So, and it just makes me wonder, it makes me wonder, do you put yourself in a position where something like this occurs? And, all this could have been prevented if, and as a player, you get scrutinized a little bit more because you were brought into that situation as a.
I think.
But my
need-
question is, you just why and do you don't want to put yourself in that position?
No.
No, you don't. No, but
That's a question you have to ask.
I think when you look at it now, I think you need sports right now for the part of the healing process. You know what I mean?
It is, but
it's part of the healing process. You know what I mean? Now do I think Tom Izzo can do his press conferences a little bit better? I know he's got a lot of stress in him right now. You know what I mean?
so does Mark D'Antonio.
So does Mark D'Antonio.
They approach it
but,
very differently.
I'm just saying right now, when the time is right, give them their time, give them their privacy. You know what I mean? Tom Izzo's still in season right now.
Right.
Okay. That's what I'm telling the press right now is to just leave the man alone right now. I know he's going to get a lot of questions and all that, but I'm telling you, just leave him alone. Let him focus on the season. I know it's going to be a distraction. You know what I mean?
I think Tom just has to do a better job of
I think so too.
saying I can't talk about that right now.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Right. Whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Press has got to ask.
Right. But I'm saying, you know what I mean? I think that ESPN Outside the Lines report, E360 one, some of that journalism, I'm going to agree with Mike Valenti on this one. On the reporting that's been going on, some of it's been fabricated. You know what I mean? And I think whoever's done the journalism reporting there, we got to see the facts. You know what I mean? That's what journalism's supposed to be known for. You got to give us the facts, not opinionated factionations.
Nonetheless, the prayers go to the survivors of whether it's Larry Nassar or anybody that is going through that. So prayers for all the survivors involved in that story. And got to give credit to those victims who spoke, or all those survivors, who spoke to that sensing.
Yeah, at the end of the day, MSU has got to do whatever they got to do to, not make it right, because you never will, but come as darn close as possible to making it right with those victims.
Any final thoughts, guys?
I expect when the punishment comes down, I think Michigan's going to be paying a lot of money.
That's the way they should.
That's the way they should.
We'll be right back with Between Taorminas on ONTV. Hello, Lake Orion. It's Anthony Taormina, co-host of Between Taorminas. I want to let you know of a new show called History Now. In it, we're going to talk about global, national, and political events that occur in our lifetime. We're going to also have guests and also have co-hosts as well, and also plenty of surprises. Catch us on History Now here on ONTV.
Hello, Oakland County. This is Sammy Taormina talking OA Now. In it, we'll talk various stories ranging from the state to Oakland County teams affecting the OAA. Catch us here on OA Now.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. So we got something going on Sunday called the Super Bowl.
You can't say that.
Why cannot?
You got to pay the NFL now. Copyright.
We ain't suing the NFL. Watch your mouth.
No, the NFL's suing you.
They're gonna sue me?
All right, I'll rephrase that, okay? We'll call it a championship game.
Yeah,
We'll
is a
call it the
championship game.
Carrie Underwood Bowl.
We'll call it the Justin Timberlake concert.
He's terrible.
I
You
really
know
agree.
that?
I don't
He
like it.
is terrible.
Not a big fan.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
So-
so,
He needs to go meet New Jack.
Don't know what that
don't
means.
start.
Yeah.
I know what that means. I won't go into it.
I don't wanna hear
Okay, so who is your pick to win this
Philly,
championship game?
Philly.
Defense will be too much for Brady. And Gronk is hurt. So, Philly by a touchdown and a field goal.
I disagree.
What do you think?
Gronk's playing A. B. Tommy Brady, Bill Belichick. This might be the last go-around for these guys. Who knows what's going to
Matt
happen?
Patricia's going to be a Lions coach next
Matt
week.
Patricia, the defensive guru, if you will, is going to find a way to say, hey, you know what? We're playing Nick bleeping Foles. He's not going to beat us in the Super Bowl, God darn it.
You said it. You said it. You said it.
Patricia is going to get to Foles.
Ian, you said it. Now we got to face a lawsuit.
What did I say?
You're going to make us
The
You're
big
going to make me
game.
face the SEC.
The big
You
game.
nincompoop. That's why I'm telling you right now.
Let's be realistic,
I'm
right?
going to tell the FCC to tell you.
The FCC has been wanting us dead and gone for a long time.
They wanted me for
They wanted
years.
us off the air for a long
Okay,
time.
I'm honestly, I'll go with New England to win this game. I think New England's just got more weapons. Philly's got a great defense. There's no denying that, but I got to go with
Defense.
I hope
wins
it's a good
cha-
game. I think it will be a
Defense
good
wins
game.
championships.
How about this, though? You got the two defensive guys, past and present,
Jim
Lions history.
Schwartz
Yeah.
and Matt Patricia.
Well, past and future, really.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah, the
isn't that something
past
right there?
Lions. Yeah, past the
Jim
Lions.
Schwartz
future
is
Lions.
Jim Schwartz, your boy.
Now, is Patricia going to have a career with the Lions that is similar to Jim Schwartz's?
Hell no!
You think it's going to be better?
That's gonna be better.
You even think
You
it's going
think
to
it's
be better?
gonna be better?
No, I think it's gonna be worse.
How do you get
I
worse
think
than
they're
2 and
worse than 2
14?
and 14.
Oh, and praise him 0-16.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Been there,
remember
done
that.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so any final thoughts on this interesting?
Tiger Fest happened, and the Tigers, you know it, I know it, they're not going to win a lot of games, and your boy, and the team, the Cleveland Indians, they're going to win the Central, and of course, your boy, Ron Gardenhire, he's a great man. And you know it, I know it, you should have listened to me 2 years ago about him.
I got 2 things to say. You wait. 1, shut up. 2, I hope and pray, I don't often do this now, that Matt Patricia is Detroit's personal Jesus and revives sports, because the Lions being good would have this town going gaga.
Bye, everybody.
That's my hope.
Bye, everyone. Oh, yeah.